And so now we get into the section about penalty pay. How does penalty pay work?
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
What is going on, everybody? So today I have Greg Kerwood out of Local 25 in Boston, and we're going to be covering payroll errors. You know, what do you do if you're overpaid? What do you do if you're underpaid? How does penalty pay work? So Greg, I'm going to throw the first question to you. What do you do if you're overpaid?
If you are overpaid, it is very important that you notify management right away, as well as your steward. You have to notify management in writing under the contract. That does not have to be something elaborate. It can be just something you've handwritten on a piece of paper. But I would recommend taking the time to write it out and make copies so that your steward has one and your business agent has one, so that everybody knows exactly the date you notified management. Once you notify management, they have 5 working days to correct that overpayment. If they do not, beyond that, you are off the hook as far as that money goes, which is why it's so important that you do this. I have seen overpayments go on for months, and the company has every right to find out down the road and come back looking for that money if you do not put your letter in and protect yourself. So any kind of overpayment, make sure you take care of it right away. Get that letter in, then 5 days later, working days later, you're covered.
And so we run into the other side of the coin. And that's if you're underpaid, if your paycheck just doesn't amount correctly. How do you handle that situation?
In a similar fashion, you need to notify management right away. Once again, I would involve your steward and notify them. I would have them go with you when you notify management, therefore having a witness to establish when you notified management. Once you have notified them, they have 2 working days to correct the underpayment and get you your money, which I have yet to see happen in my career. After that 2 days, you need to file your grievance. And in the remedy is very important that you not only ask to be made whole in every way for all lost wages and benefits, but also that you ask to be made whole for any and all applicable penalty pay going forward from the date you file that grievance.
And so now we get into the section about penalty pay. How does penalty pay work?
So penalty pay has changed quite a bit in the new contract. As of right now, if you are full-time, from the moment you notify the company and then the 2 days they don't pay, from that point on, they owe you 4 hours, half your daily guarantee, for the first 2 pay periods that go by until you are made whole. Beyond that, they owe you 8 hours each pay period, so that can add up pretty quickly. And a big change for part-timers, it's now no longer half their daily guarantee. It is a straight 4 hours. So from the time the 2 days after they fail to pay you, each pay period going forward as a part-timer, they owe you 4 hours penalty pay each pay period.
And we hear about this, future payroll system that's supposed to take place. Can you give us a little bit more information of what that is about?
So allegedly, the company is going to have the greatest payroll system ever invented that's going to take care of all of the payroll problems. In light of that, they have agreed in the contract that whether they have it or not, come
January 1st, 2026,
the penalty pay is going to increase. So for full-timers, after that date, it will be 8 hours each pay period across the board from the get-go. And for part-timers, it will be 4 hours penalty pay for the first 2 pay periods. And then after that, it will go up to 5 hours for each pay period after that. The penalty pay adds up very quickly. That's why it's so important that you get that notification to management and your steward right away to start that clock ticking and start that penalty pay adding up. It's very, very common for the penalty pay to be way more than the actual payroll error. And, some people feel guilty about that for some reason. But here's the reality. We're at UPS to make a living, and they have an obligation to pay their employees correctly and on time. And the penalty pay is not some sort of, you're taking free money without working. The penalty pay is to make the company pay the price for not doing what they're supposed to do. So you shouldn't feel guilty about it. You should be on top of it, file that grievance, and take it, because it's your reward for not getting your money as you should get it, that you've earned.
So, unfortunately, we've had comments here and there talking about how management has messed with their time cards, or they've known somebody who has had their time cards messed with. And so there's an importance to all this. And I'm going to throw it to Greg real quick. What can you say about all that?
Well, whether they're messing with your time cards, which is sort of a whole nother section of the contract and a question of dishonesty, or you're being paid incorrectly, the bottom line is it's up to you or us as the members to keep track of your hours and check your paycheck. I like to give people the timeline. It's on UPSers on Thursday morning, while you're eating your Cheerios, check your paycheck, see what it says. Then when you come in Friday and you're officially paid incorrectly, you notify your steward and management right away. That starts the clock ticking for all the things that we discussed previously, and starts that penalty pay rolling. Don't wait, and certainly don't ignore it. There are many, many, many members who just look at their bank account and say, "Oh, I got a deposit, so I must be good." I have seen people, 6 months later, "Hey, I've been getting paid wrong for 6 months." You want to be on top of this, and it may seem tedious. There are apps out there that will keep track of your time for you. But it can be as simple as just writing. When I started, pre-cell phone days, I had a notebook and I just wrote down my hours every single day and added them up and checked them on the computer on Thursday morning and made sure my paycheck was right. And, they've screwed up my paycheck, and they've probably screwed up yours. And, when you add all the number of employees up, this company walks away with easily millions of dollars that should have gone to our members for their work. And the problem is that it's up to us to police it. So please keep track of your hours, check your paycheck, stay on top of it, and file those grievances.
All right. So if you have anything else you want to add to this, leave a comment down below. If you're not watching this on YouTube, check us up on YouTube, please. Roswell Hub. If you haven't done so already, check out the UPS Contract Enforcement Group on Facebook. Greg Kerwood runs that. And so let's get into shout outs, Greg. Who do you want to shout out tonight?
Well, as you know, our good friend Dean Doss was reelected to his steward position out in California. So congratulations to him. But in light of that, my shout out is going to go to all the stewards out there. They used to say about the Peace Corps, it's the toughest job you'll ever love. I think being a steward falls under the same category. Can be incredibly difficult, can be incredibly rewarding. But my hat is off to everyone who steps up and fights for the members every day, enforces that contract, and holds these companies accountable.
And my shout out is going to go to Dan Arlen. It's his birthday. Well, today is his birthday. It's releasing on Sunday. But, wish him happy birthday. He runs the bi-weekly grievance show. Awesome dude. And that's all I got. Love you guys.